Hello, Nicholas. For this assignment, we're going to talk about real numbers and square roots. Now, your version will look like the student version. This is the teacher version. But I just wanted to scroll through this assignment and kind of walk you through it a little bit. Okay? The first section, we're going to talk about rational versus irrational. This side with rational numbers, you've been dealing with since 6th grade. We did this in 6th and we did this in 7th. 8th grade is where we bring in irrational. Okay, so here are some notes. Pause the video now or take some time on your Google form to look through the notes and look at the examples. What tricks 8th graders are the decimals. If it is a positive and negative terminating decimal, terminating meaning that it ends, the decimal stops, is going to be rational. If it's a positive or negative repeating decimal, even though it goes on and on and on and on, because there is a pattern, it's still rational. It makes sense. We can shorten it. Irrational is the part where it's a crazy number. It is long. It has no pattern to it. And if you look at these right here, you notice they go on and there's no pattern to them and there's no stopping. The reason why it looks like it stops is because it runs out of room on the calculator. So the biggest thing right now is rational versus irrational. All right, whenever you're ready for this next section, you're going to put all these numbers in a calculator, and you're going to see if it's rational or if it's irrational. Okay? Now, some of these, like this one right here, you won't put this in a calculator because it's already in decimal form. But this first one, you're going to put in a calculator. And how? Well, it's a division problem. So you're going to do 12 divided by 5. It gives you a decimal, and then determine if it's rational or irrational, and you'll make your selection. Okay, this right here just means repeating. Again, you don't have to type it in. Just know that it means 45, 45, 45, and so on. And for this last one, you're going to type in a square root. This one you are going to need a calculator. Now, I will double check to see if you have a graphing calculator, but if not, Google Calculator will work for this. Just hit the square root button first. Okay, the square root button's right here. And then you're going to type in your number. So square root of, I believe it was 17. Hit enter. That's the answer they give you, and then you have to determine, is that a rational answer? Is that irrational? And feel free to use the notes. If you want to take a screenshot or a picture of the notes, you can use it. That's perfectly fine. Okay. Next one is the same thing. Continuing on, this one has more square roots involved. Pi. Again, on the regular calculators, we have pi. And then for you, if you're using a Google calculator, pi is located right here. So all you have to do is push it, hit enter, and it tells you what pi is automatically. Okay? All right. Once again, anytime you see a fraction, that means division. And it's kind of it for the first part. All right, for this section right here, and again, pause the video anytime you need to. If you want to pause it and work on each section, that's fine. For this section, when you get to the square roots of perfect squares, a perfect square means that there is no decimal. So let me show you square root of 4. Let's go back to our calculator. If I go back to the calculator, okay, and I type in the square root of 4, let me erase this real quick. Okay. Square root of 4. Hit enter. It gives me 2. That's a perfect square root. So on this one, I'm going to check in yes. Okay, which you could tell would be the right answer. Now again, on my side it shows it. Yours, you just click yes to move on. All right, square root of 9, square root of 18. Okay, whichever of these gives you just a regular number, that's a perfect square root. If it gives you a decimal, it's not a perfect square root. All right, again, pause the video now if you need to. Press play if you want to keep going on. All right, this is the 8th grade part. Here's the example I gave, okay? For the example, it says that this is what the students typed in the calculator. Square root of 110. All right, so let's go to the calculator, and we're going to hit square root of 110. It gives me a long number, But notice we're only taking up to the second number past the decimal. All right, going back. So I wrote down 10.48. That's going to fall in between 10 and 11 on a number line. So that tells me, oh, my answer is 10 and 11. Let's do one together, okay? Square root of 12. All right, let's type that in the calculator. Square root of 12. Square root 12. All right, that gives me 3.46. So let's go back to my paper over here. All right, again, it was 3.46. If I were to put that on a number line, what two whole numbers would I put that number in between? Well, it's greater than 3, so I know 3 is going to go here, but it's less than 4. Okay, and if you have to think like money, think like money. $3.46 is in between $3 and $4. So this one right here would be your answer. Okay? All right, go ahead and continue this. All right, try the rest. And then whenever you get to this last part, it's the same thing. Just instead of showing it to you like this visually with the squares, it just shows you as a word problem. Okay? All right, finish this out and then do the exit ticket. And then you should see your grade automatically when you're done. If you have any questions, let me know. Send me an email.